So, the other week I did a video about särskrivning, where you write words apart, or as someone wrote as a comment, separating compound words. Yeah. And I thought, I have a few more examples, so why not make a video where I present those few examples? Life, it all falls into place just like every puzzle I've ever laid. Let's go.
My name is not Sven, it is Martin, ja.
And the first one is this one. Billiga barncyklar. Cheap children's bikes. A sign you can see in a store when, you're interested in buying a bike for your kid. But what happens if you separate them? Well, then you get billiga barncyklar, which means cheap children ride bikes, because cyklar is both the plural of cykel, bicycles, but also the active verb to ride a bike. Yeah, either the bike is cheap or your kids are cheap. The next one is hästskjuts. Hästskjuts. A horse ride. You get a horse ride back to the farm. But what happens if you separate them? Then you get hästskjuts. A horse is being shot. Which is not, I guess, the ideal when you just want to ride back to the farm and not to kill the horse. Don't kill the horse. Remember, never-ending story? Technically, Atreya didn't kill the horse. The horse died because it lost faith. Yeah, spoiler. The next one is normally seen on signs, and that is rökfritt. Rökfritt, which is like smoke-free. Don't smoke here. But what happens if you separate them? Rökfritt. Smoke freely. Go ahead. Be the Hufflepuff of your inner heart. Next one is also normally a sign, that is parkering förbjuden. Parkering förbjuden. Parking prohibited. Parking not allowed. But what happens if you separate them? You get parkering förbjuden. Then you get parking for an invited person. Parking for invited. Which I guess is not right. It ain't right. The next one is... My wife just texted me, ice cream, ? And I'm gonna say, ja. And then she's gonna ask which one, and I'm gonna say, whichever you decide. She did. I know her so well. After 20 years. Moving on. The next one is skumsläckare. Skumsläckare, foam extinguisher. Something you should always know where it is, or something like it, wherever you are. Keep an eye out. Like, if it happens, where is it? So, skumsläckare. But what happens if you separate that? Well, then you get skumsläckare, which means sketchy extinguisher. When something is skumt, it's like, a little shady. And the last one is... Shouldn't laugh. It's basically a notice about an elevator. Hiss förstörd. Hiss förstörd, which means elevator destroyed or ruined. But what happens if you separate them? Then you get hiss förstörd, which means elevator for disturbed. You have to be disturbed to ride this elevator. Oh, know what that is. So those were another few examples of what happens when you inadvertently separate words that should be together. Don't take them apart. Keep them together. Let the love grow. Cat, I will give you food in just a minute. I'm filming with a fancy camera and a fancy microphone and the fancy people watching. Hello, fancy people. How are you? So, yes, we've come to the end of the video, and you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen. The people who have stopped watching, they don't know what's going to happen. They know nothing. But this is where I give the secret clue. The clue that determines who has actually watched the video to the very end, because I give you a little thing that I want you to include in your comment below. Obviously, if you have other examples, if you're Swedish, or if you experience this, or if you have similar things in your language where, separating or even putting together changes and altering the meaning, blah, 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 that we just did that. We just did that. It was fun. We had a good time. We had laughs, and I hope you enjoyed yourself in ways that you find appropriate. But anyway, in the comment, end the last sentence with the letter E. End the last sentence of the comment with the letter E. And that's how I know that you watched the entire video. And yeah, thank you for doing that. And thank you for being here, and thank you for being my little outlet into this world of, closed-in pandemic where I get to use fancy camera and microphone and fancy people watching. I will see you the next time you click on one of my videos.